Welcome, Blue Jay fans. Welcome to another episode of Talking Jays. I'm your host, George Long. And finally, we're getting some baseball action. We're within a week of getting some spring training baseball. Cannot wait. It's been a long winter with this COVID stuff. Stuck in the house. Couldn't do a whole lot of stuff. So just waiting for baseball to start. So we're within a week. Sunday, February 28th. It is your Toronto Blue Jays versus the New York Yankees. And come aboard on my YouTube channel, 8 o'clock Sunday night. And I'm going to go live. Hopefully have some dialogue through the chat with some of you out there. Talk about who got into the game on Sunday. Who still needs some time to heal, maybe from some bumps. And who just needs some time in the gym and things like that. So we're going to go live. On my YouTube channel. Come aboard and we'll have some chat going, some dialogue, and finally talk about some baseball action, which it's been a long off season. But before we get there to Sunday, these next 6 days, I'm going to throw little tidbits about your Toronto Blue Jays, a 2021 version. Going to talk about who's going to make the 26-man roster, how's the AL East going to shape up, things like that. But tonight we're going to talk about, I just see on your screen here, we're going to talk about the additions that were added in the offseason, the subtractions, and I'll give you my offseason grades that were, to the outfield, to the infield, and to the pitching staff of the additions and subtractions. So let's jump on right here. Let's see who resigned this year. Robbie Ray. I'm a big fan of Robbie Ray's. I think he's going to have a monster season. Love his arm, electric. Gets that ball in the strike zone a little more often. Hopefully, going to be with Pete Walker through the holes, right from day one. I think he's going to have a great season. Again, no such thing as a bad one-year deal. That's what he signed, $8 million 1 year, and he's going to have to prove himself for his next contract. So, love the sign, love it. Would I rather Taijuan Walker over Robbie Ray? Yes, and we'll talk further about that in a second. So, some other re-signers. Some non-roster invitees, Joe Panic, AJ Cole, and Tim Meza. It's going to be tough for these guys to make the squad. I think Joe Panic has a pretty good outside chance of making it. Because when you're invited as a non-roster, you got to get, if you make the squad, you got to get yourself on the 40-man roster, and which means the 40-man is full right now. So you're going to have to bump somebody off the 40-man, and that person has to go through waivers, waits 10 days to see if anybody picks him up. So that's why it's tough to make the squad as a non-roster invitee. But Joe Panic, I believe, Mr. Professional, good professional at bats, has a possibility of bumping in there. AJ Cole and Tim Meza are going to have a very, very hard time. Let's take a look at the infield. Who's out and who's in? Out, Jonathan Villar and Travis Shaw is out. And who's in is Marcus Semien and another non-roster invitee, Richard Urania, signed a minor league contract. Again, it'd be tough for him to make it. It's probably between him and Panic to make it in that infield squad. Jonathan Villar, reckless player. I was never a fan. He's got some energy, brings energy, but reckless on the bases, reckless defensively. Not a fan. He still gets some bases, but again, he recklessly, he got out on the base paths a lot last season. Travis Shaw had his time; he's now over. So very good. Marcus Semien, monster 2019. So hopefully he can get close to that. Outfield, my buddy Adam Campbell's one of his favorite players, Derek Fisher, is out. They traded him, I believe, to the Milwaukee Brewers for a bag of balls or something like that. So. Who's in is George Springer. He's a top 20 Major League Baseball player. You bring in a top 20 player out of all those players in the league. That's a pretty good addition. So, relief. Who's out and who's in? Kenny Giles is out. Anthony Bass is out. Shun Yamaguchi has been released, picked up by the Giants. Sean V. Foley was dealt away this offseason for Steven Matz, who's another player who's in on your starting pitching staff, which we'll take a look at in a second. Who's in? Kirby Yates. Love Kirby Yates. Big addition. David Phelps. A fan of David Phelps. He'll provide you some experience in that bullpen. Joel Payamps picked up on the waiver wire, I believe, from the Red Sox, and Anthony Castro He's a non-roster right now, invited to camp. He was picked up waivers from the Detroit Tigers. Got a nice little arm too, but only so many spots available on your team. So again, Kirby Yates, David Phelps, and Ken Giles, Anthony Bass out. That's why I put those 2 for 2 in a second. We'll talk about that. Starters, who's out? Taijuan Walker, Matty Shoemaker, and Chase Anderson are out. Steven Matz, Tyler Chatwood, and Francisco Liriano, a non-roster invitee, signed a contract. Going to be very tough again for him to make the squad. Tyler Chatwood won't be a starter. I can't see it in the Blue Jays. He'll be in the bullpen. So basically, you're going to have your 5 starters. I think are pretty much going to be cemented with Ryu, Peterson, Robbie Ray, Tanner Rourke, and then the 5th spot would be probably Steven Matz. He'll take the place of Matt Shoemaker in this squad this year. Going into last season, Shoemaker, because Walker wasn't there. Remember now, going into the season. So Matz is replacing Shoemaker going into the season, and Chase Anderson was a 6th starter basically last year. Well, because Peterson was injured a lot last year, so Anderson was in Peterson's spot. So we'll talk about that in a second, how that affects us and things like that. So it's not as bad as what we think. I know we all think, oh, we need another pitcher, and we will get another pitcher. Don't mark my words. They're going to watch, trade deadline. They're going to see who's pitching well, which teams follow the race, and then they're going to jump on a pitcher because they cannot go in to the playoffs. And yes, I'm saying playoffs. I'm saying postseason. We're going to get to the postseason with this squad, with this offense. They're going to carry us through the season. And I'll always say postseason because that's ingrained in me. As a coach, when you get ready for your season, you want to make the postseason. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That should be your goal, to make the postseason. Everybody says, well, the goal is the championship. It is very, very, very hard to win a championship through 162 game season and then through the postseason. So your goal, that's not the ultimate goal, but the goal is to make the postseason, and then you go from there. But you need the horses in the postseason to get to the championship, and they don't have the horses right now. Hopefully they can find another horse, on that mound as a starter, as a number 2 starter. And hopefully, I know Odorizzi's still available as I'm doing this filming right now. Odorizzi's not a number 2. I'm kind of, hopefully they don't, dip into that. He's looking for 3 years, 13 mils a season. So I don't think he's worth it. I think he's a number 4 guy. We have enough 4 guys. So I think hold on. The only guy that besides Bauer was Paxton that I believe can be pitch at the top of the rotation when he's healthy. So obviously Paxton went back to Seattle. So other than that, I don't know who. I just can't remember who was free agents and make a splash in the top of the rotation. So Blue Jays are playing it close to the vest right now. I believe they have enough to get to the postseason, but they got to make a splash to find that pitcher. So when they get to the postseason, they can get something. So. I love postseason. So let's take a look right back here. We'll re-signed. Let's grade these now. So let's re-sign players. Got Robbie Ray and Joe Panic, AJ Cole, and Tim Meza re-signed. You saw the other players that could have been re-signed: Jonathan Villar, Travis Shaw, Derek Fisher. Well, he was at Delts, so he wasn't a free agent. Ken Giles, free agent. Anthony Bass, free agent. Shun Yamaguchi, they released. Sean Foley in the deal. Taijuan Walker, they could have signed. Matt Shoemaker, they could have signed. Chase Anderson, they could have signed. So if you take a look, I'll give this a B. And the only reason I'm giving it a B and not an A is that because I think Walker would have been the better sign than Robbie Ray. If they had signed Walker instead of Ray, I would give the re-signed players, the re-signed category, if you want to call it that, I would have gave it an A. But I still would have picked Robbie Ray over Shoemaker. I love Robbie's arm more than Shoemaker, but I love Taijuan Walker's 28 years old, and he's just coming, into his own now. I think he would have been the one that I was adding. They didn't, so I'll give this a B. Infield, Jonathan Villar, Travis Shaw is out. Marcus Simeon is in, and I will give this an A. This is an A upgrade. It solidifies, middle of the infield. Monster, almost MVP season 2019. If you can get close to that, monster upgrade. I'll give this an A signing. Talk about the outfield here. This is an A plus signing. Can't get any better. George Springer, a 20, top 20 MLB player. I'll give this an A plus of a signing. Relief: Ken Giles, Anthony Bass is out. Kirby Yates, David Phillips is in. I'll give this. I'm between a B plus and an A minus. So because Ken Giles got to sit out this year, sat out. He's sitting out this year because of he had Tommy John surgery. I'm going to give this an A minus grade. Kirby Yates. Jay fans are going to love him. Love his presence on the mound. He's a rah-rah guy. 2019 was a monster season, just like Simeon had a monster season 2019. David Phelps, very, very good. Knows his role, knows himself. So I'll give this an A minus signing. Starters: Walker, Shoemaker, Anderson out. Matz is in. Can't see any of those other guys making as a starter. This is a D. Not very good grade in the starting department. So with losing Walker and Shoemaker and bringing in Matz to replace Shoemaker, I'll give it a D signing or a D grade. So that's there you have it. Those grades from those additions and subtractions. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. Were those grades fair? Let me know in the comments, and if you can, hit like while you're watching my video. YouTube loves those likes, so if you get those likes, it gets it out to other Blue Jay fans, and I'm trying to expand and get out there and get people to see my content and see if they like it and things like that. So press like, that gets it out there for me. It does me a huge favor. You can press like, and then I'll talk to you tomorrow night. We'll talk about the pitching staff, who I think the 13-man pitching staff is going to be made up of. So I will talk to you tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Thank you. Bye-bye.